Alright guys, let's talk shop. You've seen it in movies. Smooth-talking sales reps making cold calls, closing deals left and right. They're practically swimming in commission checks by the end of the day. It looks easy, right? But let's be real. Cold calling isn't exactly like that. In the real world, things are a little different. Think about it. Have you ever tried to sell something to someone who has absolutely no idea who you are or what you're selling? It's like trying to sell a penthouse apartment in Manhattan to someone who lives in a quiet little suburb and has never even heard of New York City. They're looking at you like you're speaking another language. So in today's video, we're breaking down the hilarious and sometimes painful differences between expectations and reality when it comes to cold calling.
You're fresh, you're motivated, you've got your lucky headset on, you're ready to conquer the world, one cold call at a time. The energy is palpable, and you can almost feel the success in the air. You pick up the phone, dial the first number on your list, and boom, instant success. It's like hitting the jackpot on your very first try. The client on the other end of the line is practically begging you to tell them more about your product. They're hanging on to your every word, eager to learn more.
Oh, wow! I was just looking for this exact service. Tell me more. It's like they've been waiting for your call all day.
You're on fire. You can't believe how easy this is. You barely even had to try. It's as if the stars have aligned just for you. You're already picturing the commission hitting your account, maybe even enough for a celebratory weekend trip to Vegas. Sound familiar? Yeah, not so much. Reality often paints a different picture. Look, the thrill of the chase is real, and landing that big sale on the first try is the ultimate adrenaline rush. It's what keeps us going. But let's be honest with ourselves, folks. How often does that actually happen? How often does that actually happen? The truth is, it's rare. The truth is, cold calling is a numbers game. It's about playing the odds. It's about persistence, resilience, and being able to handle rejection like a champ. Every no gets you closer to a yes.
Remember those times you walked into an open house and the place was buzzing with potential buyers? The excitement was contagious. Everyone's dressed to the nines, champagne flutes in hand, ready to throw down offers. It's a seller's dream. Now imagine walking into that same open house and you're the only one there. Crickets. The contrast is stark. That's the thing about sales, it's not always glamorous. There are highs and lows. There are going to be days when you feel like you're talking to a brick wall, days when you question why you even started, days when you want to chuck your phone out the window and swear off cold calling forever. It's part of the journey. But then there are those days when everything clicks. The magic happens. You connect with a prospect, build rapport, and close a deal that makes all the hard work worth it. It's the ultimate reward. So keep that fire in your belly, my friends, but let's manage those expectations. Stay motivated, but stay realistic. Remember, Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither is a successful sales career. It takes time, effort, and a lot of perseverance.
Okay, let's rip off the bandage and face the reality of cold calling. It's not glamorous, and it's certainly not easy, but it's a crucial part of the sales process. You dial the number, and you wait. And then...
the voicemail box is full. Goodbye. It's like hitting a brick wall.
The dreaded voicemail. We've all been there. It's a universal frustration for anyone in sales. You spend hours crafting the perfect pitch, memorizing every word, practicing your most persuasive tone, only to be met with the cold, robotic voice of a full voicemail box. It's disheartening to say the least. And let's not forget the gatekeepers, those formidable assistants and receptionists who stand between you and your prospect like the security guards at a high-profile event. They are the first line of defense. They've heard it all, seen it all, and they can sniff out a generic sales pitch from a mile away. They are trained to protect their boss's time. You might as well be saying, "Hi, I'm a stranger calling to waste your time. It's a tough crowd."
Look, I'm not trying to discourage you. Far from it. I'm just trying to prepare you for the real deal, the reality of what you're up against. Because in the world of cold calling, persistence is key. It's a numbers game. Think of it like this. Every no gets you one step closer to a yes. Each rejection is a stepping stone. Every time you get hung up on, every time you hear that dreaded click of a phone being slammed down, you're actually gaining valuable experience. It's all part of the learning curve. You're learning how to handle rejection, how to refine your pitch, and how to identify the right prospects who are actually interested in what you have to offer. It's a continuous improvement process. Remember, even the most successful salespeople have been through their fair share of cold calling nightmares. They face the same challenges. The key is to not let those experiences define you. Instead, let them shape you. Instead, use them as fuel to push yourself harder, to become more resilient, and to develop a thick skin. It's about building character. Because let's be honest, anyone can close a deal when the stars are aligned, and the prospect is practically begging to hand over their credit card. That's the easy part. But it's the ability to navigate the tough calls, to overcome objections, and to turn a no into a maybe that separates the good from the great. That's where true skill lies.
Picture this. Every time you pick up the phone to make a cold call, it's like catching up with an old friend. The kind of friend who's always excited to hear from you, no matter what time of day it is. The conversation flows effortlessly, laughter fills the air, and the prospect is genuinely interested in hearing about your product or service. It's as if they've been waiting for your call all day. They're practically hanging on your every word. Every sentence you utter seems to captivate them more and more. "Oh, I love sales calls," they might say, with genuine enthusiasm. "I have so much free time. Tell me everything," they exclaim. "Wouldn't that be amazing?" Imagine if every call was like this.
Yeah, in a perfect world, every cold call would be a delightful exchange of ideas and pleasantries. It would be a dream come true for every salesperson. But let's be real, folks. Most of the time, it's more like, "Hello?" Gruff voice, followed by a long, awkward silence.
"Hi there, is this prospect's name?" you ask, trying to sound as friendly as possible.
"Speaking? Who is this?" Suspicious tone comes the wary reply.
Sound familiar? It's a scenario we've all encountered. The truth is, most people don't enjoy receiving unsolicited sales calls. It's often seen as an intrusion. And let's be honest, would you? Probably not. You're busy, you've got a million things on your mind, and the last thing you want is to be interrupted by a stranger trying to sell you something you probably don't need. It's frustrating, and can feel like a waste of time.
So how do you cut through the noise and make your cold calls stand out from the sea of generic sales pitches? It's a challenge, but not impossible. It's all about personalization, my friends. Tailoring your approach can make all the difference. Do your research, know your prospects, and tailor your pitch to their specific needs and pain points. This shows that you value their time and understand their challenges.
Don't be afraid to be human, to show some personality, and to build rapport. A little authenticity goes a long way. Remember, you're not just selling a product or service, you're building relationships. And relationships are the cornerstone of successful sales, and relationships are built on trust, authenticity, and genuine connection. So, make every call count.
So there you have it, folks. The good, the bad, and the hilarious reality of cold calling. It's not always glamorous, it takes guts, and it definitely requires a sense of humor. Remember, cold calling is a numbers game. The more calls you make, the better you'll get at handling objections, building rapport, and closing deals. And who knows, you might even start to enjoy the challenge. Want more cold calling tips, real-life strategies, and fun sales content? Subscribe to Cold Call Pros and turn those calls into cash.